Hey guys, first off, I want to say I'm sorry I look a little crazy today. My fibro has been really bad the past couple days, and when I went outside this morning, it was actually like cold, which is super weird in May for Houston. So I guess a cold front came through, and that's why my fibro was really bad because the weather can affect it. Um, so yeah, I didn't really feel like putting anything on except BB cream and mascara. So sorry. um, Anyways, so this is my second medicated cycle with clomid, 50 milligrams again. I got my blood work back and they said it was ovulation, but just barely ovulation. My progesterone was 2.8. But that being said, so my appointment was supposed to be last week for my blood work, and I knew that I had not ovulated. And I wasn't about to pay for blood work knowing I hadn't ovulated because I had been temping. So I bypassed the nurse because I know she would say no. And I called appointments and just changed my appointment. So when I actually got my blood work, I was 6 DPO. And the last time I got my blood work, going off of ovulation, I was like 5 DPO. So I figured it wasn't so bad. But the nurse, when I told her that I was already like 6 DPO, was like, oh, that could have screwed up everything. Blah, blah, blah. So, like, I don't know what that means. Like, that's why my numbers weren't as high as last time or what. But I'm not really worried about it because I know I ovulated. And then my friend, um, Crystal, is going to a fertility clinic place, and that doctor said the stuff that our doctor was using was outdated, and that anything over 6 is considered good or okay ovulation. So I will take my 10.8, but if I end up getting pregnant, I'll probably ask for another progesterone check just to like make sure it's okay. Trying to think what else. So last cycle, on cycle day 28, my spotting started, and I was 11 DPO, and I wasn't sure what it was. So I'm kind of going to be holding my breath today because I'm cycle day 28 today. I was really nervous before I temped this morning because yesterday I had a huge dip. I'll go ahead and insert my chart right now. Okay, so I had that huge dip, and it was on cycle day 27, and I was like, crap, I'm going to start spotting, and then my period's going to start. But then it shot back up this morning, so I don't know. I don't know what that means. This, like, I don't know. Part of me is glad I charted, but part of me is like, I wish I hadn't, because last time I didn't chart, and who knows, the same thing could have happened. But to this time, I'm only 7 DPO on cycle day 28, so it could just be because I ovulated later. Sorry, I'm really tired. Trying to think what else. So, okay, I wanted to talk about clomid this time around. In my last first cycle video, I talked about not knowing if it was the metformin or the clomid causing my acne, and without a doubt, I can tell you now that it is absolutely the clomid. Like, I had horrible spots that had just started going away on my chin, and as soon as I started the second round, they came back like with a vengeance. And it's like big cystic acne, like painful acne. And then I have little pimples like all over my body in weird places. It's disgusting. But then it all started going away until I took the next round of clomid. Then it came back like, ugh. So I know now that is definitely the clomid. They say like every cycle of clomid can be different. This one, I didn't feel as sick. Like, I couldn't do anything. I didn't feel great, but I didn't feel like anywhere as near as sick as last time. So that was better. I had a little bit of like, somebody told me like clomid can affect like anxiety and OCD and stuff, or like if people have depression. And last time it messed with like my OCD a little bit, but this cycle was like crazy, like my obsessive compulsive things, and it mostly focused on my obsessive thoughts. If you don't know anything about OCD, a part of it is, it's not just like counting things and doing things repetitively, but a lot of it is you'll get like obsessive thoughts that you can't control, and they're things that you don't want to think. Um, Now I can't think of any that I had, but for example, when my niece was a baby, um, I constantly had anxiety about hurting her or dropping her. And I'd always, because I would give her a bath and then walk across the tile into where my sister's room was. And I always had, and like in my head, that as I was walking across the tile, I dropped her and she landed on her head. Nobody wants to have those thoughts, but I did, and it was so disturbing. And that's an example. You have these hideous, horrible thoughts, and they keep playing in your head, and you can't make it stop. And it's like, sometimes some people get them like really bad, and it's not anything you would ever do or want to do, and that's what makes it so awful. But I had a big issue with that this time, and anxiety in general, like panicky. But that's starting to go away now. Uh, my temper has been a lot worse this cycle. Like I'm a lot more snippy, and I'm not really like wanting to take crap from anybody. Before I forget, I almost forgot to do that in this video. In my Trying to Conceive group, which if you don't know what I'm talking about, go to my secret Facebook group video. There's another member that is starting to vlog. Her name is Angel. I'm gonna insert her link to her channel below. So if you're trying to conceive, I don't know why. Well, I mean, I guess my regular viewers could be watching these too. But anyways, if you're trying to conceive or interested in that, go check out her channel, subscribe. She's on the same journey as me and all of you guys who are trying to conceive. I was going to do that in the beginning of the video, and I totally forgot. I'm so out of it today. So I think I covered everything for this cycle now. It's just, let me look at my app. According to Fertility Friend, even though my last cycle is 28 days, what my doctor considered 28 days, because they consider spotting when you're doing a medicated cycle at my doctor's, your period, like to start the clomid. Anyways, Fertility Friend says Sunday my period should be here. So we shall see. If it's not here, I'm going to test on Monday, which is, oh God, this is another thing. Clomid has made me, like, last time I was extremely emotional, and this cycle has been just as bad. Like, everything makes me cry. So something that would normally make a person cry gets, like, ridiculously emotional. So I'm going to try not to do that right now, but I don't know. I'm pretty sure I've talked about it in some of my vlogs somewhere, but my mom passed away when I was 22, waiting for a new liver. And she passed away on May 5th. I think this year will be 8 years ago. So when I would test is on May 5th, and I don't know how I feel about that. Like, it's always like a sad day for me, and I don't know, like, if I found out I was pregnant, it would make it happy again. But I don't know, like, it feels weird to me to test on that day, so I'm still struggling with that. I might just go ahead and test on Sunday or Friday, because Friday will be 10 DPO. But I really want to wait till I miss my period so I don't waste anything, or I don't know. And the Fertility Friend tells me not to test till next Sunday, so that's a little crazy. Especially because if I am pregnant, my husband and I talked about it before. We wanted to wait until we at least had an ultrasound picture when we told our families. We're not going to wait 12 weeks. Like, with our families, we're going to tell them, you've got to keep this to yourself. We're going to tell you, don't go around blabbing it around town, because we don't want anyone to know till we're, like 12 weeks. We're not going Facebook. Probably not till at least 10 weeks with Facebook. So But we always talked about at least waiting until we saw the first ultrasound, maybe a heartbeat to tell our family. But if I find out on like before Mother's Day, then we decided that we want to use that day to tell my in-laws, because I can't tell my mom, obviously. Um, but I do spend that day with my mother-in-law now, so we're probably, if we are, we'll probably tell her on that day. I guess I'll like take a picture of a test. I don't know. I haven't thought it through. Because I usually think these things ahead of time. Like last time I was like, oh, I could announce it on Easter to our families, and then it's a big letdown. So I'm not planning it unless that comes our way. Um, See, I'm like super emotional. Like, why would I cry about, I don't know. I don't know. Anyways, I'm super emotional. So yeah, we'll tell them. And then I would probably, as much as I would want to tell my family at the same time or first, I want to make it really special. And I would probably wait till June when Father's Day is, but also my dad's birthday, to tell my dad. I don't know how, like, I don't want to make my mother feel like left out, but I kind of want to make it between me and my dad. Um, like I always thought I would go, he's a police chief, and I kind of always thought I would go up to his job and surprise him with something. And it's not that I don't care about my stepmother. I do. It's just like, I don't know. I want that moment between just me and my dad, or at least how I tell him to be, which is him, because I don't get it with my mom like other people get to tell their moms. I don't get that. So my dad kind of has to be like, me like super emotional. My dad kind of has to be like my mom and my dad. Okay, guys, sorry about that. I literally like got choked up. Like I couldn't talk. That was weird. That's never happened to me. Like, I don't know, my mouth got so dry. That was weird. Thanks, clomid. What I was trying to say was, because I don't get that moment with my mom, you know, to tell her, I feel like my dad's kind of got to be all of it. And while like I love my stepmother, it's almost more like where some people grew up with their stepmother, it's almost more like my dad's wife, and it's a person I love, but you know, I was grown when they got married. So she didn't, while she's been like a supportive person, it's not like she raised me. So that moment I would have with my mom kind of has to go on my dad too. So I feel like it has to be a big thing, because it's like I only get to tell him. See? Oh my God, clomid. Anyways, I'm going to go before I get any more emotional. And hopefully I'll have a good update if I get my period or whatever. Then I'll make another update and tell y'all if it was like what happened last time. Anyways, bye.